Good morning, everybody. Welcome to House Size Live. I guess my door's open again. I always forget to close the freaking door in the morning. All right, here we go. We got hopefully a fun day planned for the show. I got a guest here today that's going to walk us through his latest creation. We'll get to that in just a second, but before we do, as always, let's remind ourselves about all the things. Remember, and I say this every single day, no matter what you see here or whatever, run it through your filter, right? Make sure your bankroll supports the way you want to play. What's it capable of? Make sure that you understand how you view risk. You cannot play risky things if you don't like risk. You cannot play things that are very risk averse, like pass line only, if you love risk, right? You've got all these things combined make you not just a better player, but help you enjoy the experience more, right? And that's part of what our goal here is to make you find ways to have fun when you're out there at the tables, probably losing because most strategies end up losing in the end, right? Have discipline, set goals, keep your emotions in check. All right. Again, your pie chart may look different than mine does, but what I want you to do is enjoy yourselves and find good ways to play. Now, that said, let's get after the show here. Of course, your other daily reminder of crapsforthecure.com. It's coming right up. It's coming up like not this weekend, but next weekend. Then I'll stop talking about it for a while. We're going to be in Vegas. We're going to be at Casino Quest for a couple days, Saturday and Sunday, the 13th and 14th. We're going to be at Palace Station Friday and Saturday night. We have a private table scheduled for 7 o'clock on both nights. We'll be filming both nights. I think Ryan from Mark the Point is going to be cameraman, and we're going to get us all on tape, betting for the troops and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to get involved, get some money out of your pocket and help the cause, go to crapsforthecure.com. You'll find links there where you can buy a ticket for the event if you're going to be in town, $100. If you want to fund the dogs, like you can actually buy dog food. You can buy all the things the dogs need, right? And you can go do that there. There's all sorts of items you can buy that go right into the dogs, like lockers, right? You can buy bigger things. We've got a couple of really cool giveaways this year. We got felt from Gargoyle. We've got the heavy Haltham Power Craps course, $50 tickets for a raffle on those things. I mean, the best deal in town right there, right? So get on there, get out there, and let's get this number to 5,000 before we get into town. That's the goal here, okay? Now, all that to get here. Skill and Luck has joined me. Skill, say hello to the people. Are you there? Did we lose him? Did I lose Skill? Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. Guest is in the green room. I got to take him out of the green room. How do I do that? Hold on. Guest is in the green room. How do I get him out? Hold on. No. Add. Is he in?
There we go.
All right. Yeah, I had to press
Hello.
another button there. Weird. When I was before we got live, it was yours working, right? All right, here we go. So Skill's in. Good morning. Skill's going to be audio only here. Joining us on the Nexus hotline. Can I say it like a radio guy? We have like sponsor our stuff. So anyway, so Skill's got this strategy. We were talking last week or week before, maybe it was, about the Horseman, and he's like, "Hey man, I gotta tweak to the Horseman," and he read all this off to me. I'm like, "That's not the Horseman, but let's call it something else, right?" Because it was kind of like the Horseman's cool, but it's called the Hedgeless Horseman. This one here has a lot of things covering a lot of things. And I want you to explain this before I go to the table view. Explain what we're seeing on screen here, and I've got the basic bets out there, and you can start with why you came to this strategy in general, and then we'll talk about the actual bets on it. Go ahead, Skill.
Yeah, this is a wild Mustang. You know, you coined it pretty cool, pretty well. So I was really kind of impressed with that. You know, John comes up with all these great names and stuff. So all credit goes to John on that. But long time ago, or hopefully a few years ago, I came up with the unicorn, and that was really racking my brain on trying to figure out different unique ways of working. And my brain just is always trying to help the don't pass person develop
Mm-hmm.
different skills and tweaks and what have you. And this is just another thing that I just kind of like stumbled on, and it's not common sense until it smacks you in the face, you know. So anyway, I wanted to go over the badass move of the basics of the horseman of why that worked. So if John could grab $100, just a black one black chip, and just put
Got
it
it.
on the don't pass, and then we're just gonna talk, and because we're not gonna do
Okay.
really too much here right at first, and then it's a $10 yo and a $10 field, and that was part of the baseline of the protection of the don't for the don't player, because if you want to walk us through the different options, John,
Sure.
they can see, and you can point out different things, because
Yep.
I don't have a pointer.
Yeah. So the old days we had this idea of what's the unicorn, right? The unicorn was just this idea of like get me out safe, right? Get me from the adult side for sure. Get me a safe point, right? And then when we're playing the numbers, right? Give me a guarantee of 2 hits and I'm going to be okay, right? That was the old idea. The don't pass at $100, and the so here's the thing: what can get you on the don't is the 7 or the 11, obviously, right? So if the 7 comes, you're going to be torched for 120. It's going to happen, right? But if the 11 comes, you take away a couple combinations of getting beat, you would lose the 100, right? But you'd win over here 150 on your 11 plus an extra $10 out there in the field, right? And let you get set back up again with a little bit of juice over here, right? You can put your $10 back over here and you're locking up $60. That was the idea. So if you get planked by the 11, a couple of those covers a couple of the 7s. But then when a point gets established, which we love, right? Let's say it's an inside point, like a 9 or something like that, right? When the 9 comes, that's fantastic because you're going to lose your yo. It pays in the field, and now you've gotten paid to get your point set, right? Which is a nice
Exactly.
deal. This is kind of a wash in here, and now you're set up with your don't pass. That was the idea behind it, was to sort of get yourself out as free and clear as you can. Of course, it doesn't take care of the 7. In your version of the unicorn, you also were
Right.
doing this, as I recall. I think you were laying the 9 for how much? Was it 150?
It's always double whatever the don't pass is. So that your $100 should be on the don't pass.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So
So
this one would
whatever the
cover the.
don't pass
Yeah.
is,
Yep.
yeah, whatever the don't pass is should be double the
Right.
the lay is,
Right. So you're looking to
and that
win
does
double or
that.
place double?
I'm sorry.
Looking to win double, so I could lay it for 3 to win 2 down here, or you're looking for me like lay it for 180.
Whatever no, for 200, because it's double. We have $100 on the
Yeah.
don't pass, and if you
Right, but
put
you can't lay the
200
9
on
for
a lay
200,
on
right?
a
If
lay
the if
nine.
the nine's the point, you can't
Well,
lay it for 200.
right, because it's got to be in increments of three, right? So
Right.
that's why the don't pass has to be in increments of three. So in
Mm-hmm.
this case, it would have to be
Yes.
120,
So that
120,
brings me
or
to your
90, or 90,
yeah.
or 90.
Yeah. You go to 120 down here, right? And then you can come up here and go double that and go 240 up top. The nice thing about, and this is
Exactly,
actually feeds into what you're about to talk about with the Mustang, because this being in
exactly.
special increments makes everything. It's a simple little point that you make a lot that I think people have to like dial into, which is like um, the amount of the don't pass. It's nice for when it's a flat even amount, but it makes the lay bets a little harder to cover. When you do it in increments of
Exactly.
30 or 15, like you're going to show us here in a minute, it makes this part a lot easier. The math becomes a little
Yeah,
easier to
because it's
comprehend.
divisible. Exactly. It's divisible by 3 or 6,
Mm-hmm.
which is the most difficult part. And I want to I want to help the don't. I want to help the don't player simplify.
Yep. Yep.
And just go.
All right. So let's talk about the Mustang. So the Mustang, I'm going to pull my chip rack out here. I'm going to put it. I'll put it
Okay.
here for now. Um, Actually, there's no good place to put it. I want to keep the words on screen.
Hmm.
Let's put it down over here. I think folks can see it there. Keep the don't pass kind of in play.
Yep.
Close enough. Good enough for government work, as they say, right? Okay, so let's walk through the Mustang. And what I've got here are these slugs. I'm going to actually put them in the back side of my rack, like this. And each of these, will add up one of them, is 25, 50, 60, $70. Okay, 25, $50, $60, $70. Okay, now you're playing this on bubble craps. Let's give me the levels here. We have a $45 don't pass. I'll
Right.
spread the chips
Right.
out so folks can see them, right? And we're coming out. So is that a naked come out, or are we using the other chips right now? Are you just going to work every roll?
No, no, no. It's a naked 45 DP,
Okay. Let's walk through
and
with points
sure.
being set, right? So let's pretend the point is 5. I'll get dice and roll here. So the point's 5, let's say. Your next
Hmm.
move then is what?
Is a $3 single hop bet.
Okay.
And and again, to simplify, I'm going to be choosing all of the since the point is 5, I'm going to be choosing all of the combinations of any single hop bet that would have the ones on them. So
Okay.
I'm going to be choosing all of the one combinations and all of the six combinations if they are the point.
If they play it.
So in this
So,
case, instead of so it'd be 1-3 or 1-4 or 1-5 for
mhm.
the 4, the 5, or the 6. So whenever I know whatever that point becomes, I already have a game plan that I
Mhm.
already know what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be locking out the 1-4 in this
So
case.
we're gonna put $3 on the 1-4. That's it. It's one hop, not all the hops. It's hopping the point
Correct.
with the 1 on it. So it's the 1-4 is being hopped. I'm gonna put it back in here. That's what that actually means on my table. There's no, actually, I'll put it in front. I'll put it in front. It's just so we know that's what that is. It's the hop. And I can put
Okay.
on top of the puck or whatever, right? Just so we know. You also have a
Okay.
$6 6 and 8 that you're just playing because of the play, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay,
And
and a
then I'm going to
$3
have
field.
yeah, we're going to, well, to pay for that hop,
Mhm.
we're going to do the $3 field. So
Right.
that will take care of 50% of the potential box numbers that the $7
Hmm.
come is going to be going into.
Which is coming next. There's their $7 come bet, right? So you've got what's interesting here is this. So when you get this set up, we have a point established, right? $3 field and a $3 hop. Now, if the hop wins, the hop on the 5 covers, right? 15 times 3 is 45. It covers the don't pass completely. So you're taking one way of losing the don't pass away. If a field number rolls, hop loses, field wins, you're covered in there. So the field covers the hop covers the don't. The come bet actually covers both of those, right? If it's a $7 wins, $6 loses, you're covered here. So these are all cancellation bets essentially, right? Just to kind of protect stuff. You can rock the 6 and 8 for same bets as you go, and you're really hoping for a 7 in the end. Is that correct?
Yes, let me, for some reason, my phone is going nuts, so I need to just.
Yeah, you just went to
Come
robot
back.
mode. Hold on one second, folks. I think we might be losing him. We'll see. Let's take a look here. He's gonna come back in, and I'll give him a second to dial back in his phone. His phone. Here he comes. Here he comes. I guess in the green room at the left. All right, can you say hello?
Well, maybe it's my connection. I don't know.
Yeah, you're still coming in
Hang
as a
on.
robot there, Skill.
I'll try it one more time.
You can try. He's gonna try one more time. And if not, then I'll run through it. I'll just run some dice. We'll play it out. Nothing like live TV, right? To mess up your day. All right, we'll give him another 3 or another minute here, and then I'll just start rolling dice. We'll see what happens. He went from being very clear, Dan, to not being so clear. But as he's getting dialed in, let's talk about it again. So Duracell calls this the hegemotic, right? Skill's very good at figuring out. Oh, here he comes again. Hopefully this works. Let's see. How you doing?
Okay, hopefully
That
this
sounds
works.
that sounds better. That sounds better.
Okay, sorry
All
about
right,
that.
that's okay. So we're just going over again. Duracell calls this the hegemotic. As I said, skill's very good at finding all the different ways to make it work, right? And again, you're not like these two canceling out is one thing. This canceling this is something else. This canceling those two is something else, right? That's all the hedging in here. However, if you catch
Right.
come bets that are going to numbers and you catch the 6 and 8 for a while, this will catch a right side run pretty quickly. And you can lean into the right side if you need to. If not, and the 7 rolls, well, great, you're going to win a clean $45. The idea is that the 7 comes, these are canceled out, the $45 is basically clean minus the 6 and 8. So that's the story behind the story there, correct?
Exactly.
All right. Let
So
me
now
roll
you
it
can
out.
just do your. Yep.
Yeah, let me roll it out. I'm going to go one more screen here and make myself some room. And we'll roll this guy out. I do have, by the way, the hard ways over here
Perfect.
open because if the point does become a 6 or 8, we will roll the hard ways in. There's extra chips here
Correct.
that are for the hard ways if the point is 6 or 8. But here we go. Let's take all this down. We'll let the don't pass rock. I'll put the money up front, and let's get a point and see what happens. Here we go. And this is definitely a bubble crap sort of thing, right? There's no, we got a 7 on the come out, of course, right? So there goes our clean don't goes away. I'm going to bring up the next shooter right out of the gate here, and we'll just run it like that. I think I got these messed up. I think I might have one of my shooters is the wrong amount of money too, but all right, here we go. Let's do the next shooter, $45. And again, I'll make these right as we go, hopefully. All right, we got a 9. So there's your point of 9. And we'll get ourselves set. So we have the 6 and 8 for 3 each. On the 9, we're going to hop the 6-3 version of the 9. It's the 1 or the 6, depending. So I'm going to put that here on the puck, right? $3 in the field.
Fantastic.
$7 coming. Okay?
Yep.
All right,
Perfect.
and here we go. Let's see what happens. We got a 7. Okay. So what's going to happen is you'll lose your hop in your field, but you'll get paid $7 on that come bet. You'll get paid $45.
We're also losing.
Yeah,
We're also
I'll take
losing the
those.
6 and 8.
Yeah, I'll take those in a minute. We'll get paid $45 down here, and these go bye-bye. Okay, so effectively, you can put the rack back together. You've got your, if we look at it this way, we can go $6, 6 and 8 can go back. I'm just going to show you what kind of happens here, right? The $45, if I take $10 here as white chips, there's 6, 10 from those 2 other ones, right? There's your $3 in the field, and there is your $3 hop bet that would go back, and you're back with 35 plus a few whites in the rack. So you end up profiting on that shooter, on the don't, like you would figure, but really it's about losing the $12. So let's put all this back, and we'll get going and just do another round. And what I'll start doing here is filling this guy's money back in as we get the money back. So if we take 25, there's the 45 we would have lost on that come out roll. His money, that second shooter the first shooter we lost, that money's actually back. I think I've got an extra couple of whites too.
Most of it, but not most of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, most of it. Yeah, it's close. Well, now we're light on this shooter here. I'll have to borrow from him to make it work, but we're close. His money, actually, this guy here, I screwed him up. I didn't give him enough whites, so let me actually put that correct. So these 2 guys are right. All right, let's go. Come out again. Here we go. So 2 shooters are in good shape. The third shooter we're still working through. All right, $45 in the don't. Let's get set up. We'll do a $3 field. We'll do a $3 hopping 1-5. We'll do a $6 6 and 8. I need to get
1-4.
whites here, or reds. And I'm going to borrow from my other shooters. There's that, and we'll take $7 for the comeback. All right, so this shooter here we're still working on getting his money back. We're still down from the first guy, but let's go. Come on, let's have more than one roll this time, huh? And the bubble says it's a 6, which is fantastic. So what happens is this: we're going to lose the field. Okay, we'll get paid $7 on the 6, and the $7 come bet moves up into the 6. So this can come back to the field. This can come back to the rack, and now we have a come bet to the 6 and our field bet. No need to keep the place bet up there. Is that the correct move there, Skill?
It is. We also lost that hop.
Oh yes, good point. The hop goes away. My bad. So I should replace that too. I'll take the $5 out. and get 5 whites and put the hop back.
And now you need the $7 in the
The
account.
$7 goes into the account. Look, it all just worked out perfectly, didn't it? Isn't that
Yeah, I think
crazy?
you actually made $1, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know where I put it, but I probably did. That's interesting how all that worked. I'm here going, what just happened? All that worked out perfect. Okay, it's like the roll never happened. Like, what the hell? All right, here we go.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, now we got the 9. Okay, so comeback travels to the 9, and we get paid in the
That's even
field,
better.
right? We lose the hop.
Mm-hmm.
The field win goes to the hop. So again, like nothing ever happened, right? That kind of covered that.
Exactly.
Now we have a come 9, a come 6, and a place bet 8. Do you want to come again? We don't have $7 for the shooter. I need to borrow it from somewhere else. Do you want to come again? Or do you want to let the
Yeah,
three come bets sit?
it's up to you. It's up to you.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, to me the horseman always was 3 bets, right? It was always
That's fine.
three set bets. The regular place better likes to have more things going, right? Keep the come coming kind of a thing, right? So if we do come again, we got to pull from in here. Pull from our last shooter or our next shooter up. So maybe you need more money in the rack per shoot. Maybe my budget per shooter should have been 100 instead of 70. It's my fault for budgeting bad, but let's just do it. Let's have the comebacks keep on going. And we got a 7. Okay, wow. So we're gonna lose a lot. We're gonna lose the 2 comebacks. I'm gonna put the losses up top here so we can see the losses. I'll pay myself from the losses. There's our losses. Okay. Now we're gonna win.
Yep.
Down here, $7. I'm gonna take that from there. There's your $7 in the come. Down here we get paid 45. Yep. And what I've got up top is 5, 10, 15, 19. And down here is 45. Effectively, the 19 covers the reds down here, right? On that 7. We'll lose 19, we'll win 45. So effectively, we win a net of about a quarter when all is said and done. And there's that down there. So
Yeah, basically, yes.
Right? Effectively, you win a quarter on that deal. Now let's put the rack back, and let's see that we can take all this here. We'll look at what our net comes out to be. All right. There's going to be, I'll reset it up. There's the $6, 6, and 8. There's going to be, I'm going to get 10 whites for somewhere we're going to have a $3 hop bet and a $3 field bet, which means all of this and a $7 come bet. That's what's coming next. So our net on that is going to be $34 is what comes back to the rack. After all said and done, that's what comes back. This is all ready to go for next time. I'll leave those off. Those will be sitting there ready.
Right.
And I can take this actually and start, again, rebuilding my last player. I'll put the quarter over here. This guy here is almost close. So, all right, let's do it. One more shooter. All right, it's a 4. Good point for us. Okay, there's the 4. So again, the hop here is going to be the 3-1 on the 4. The field's going to come out at $3, and here comes that $7 comeback. And let's go. Here we go. All right, there's the 3. 3 craps 3. So we lose the come, which sucks. We do win in the field, though. Okay, so we need to borrow some money from ourselves. I'll take a red chip out of here. And let's go. That's going to be a 10. All right, so the comeback goes to the 10. The 10 gets paid in the field. We lose our hop. Recover the hop. And then we can just come again.
That
Right?
$3. I mean going backwards for just a second. That 3 would have still affected the horseman. So
Yes, for sure. For sure.
it's not doing any detriment that
Right.
it would have one way or the other. So I wanted to point that out.
Correct. All right. Let's have a good long roll here, huh? Freaking 7. Good Lord. All right. So here we go again. Lose. Right? But we're going to end up being, again, just fine. We get our $7 back there.
Yeah.
Here, win 45. And what you've got is, again, 10, 15, $18 that you lost up here. 45 wins down here. right? Effectively, it's going to be a $27 win when all is said and done. When that 45 comes back to you, you still win $27 down here as a net, right? Let me put the rack back together again. I'm gonna prove that out. So we need to have, I need to have 7 reds. So there's 7 reds. There is 5, 6. There's 10 whites. So that shooter's done. Over here we have 25 and 3, 25 and 7 reds. If I take this out, I'm gonna get, for one of these, I'll take 15 and 10. Just making change for that quarter. Okay. This is your 10 white. So this shooter here also is done. Our rack is back. Actually, I'll take this. I like these greens better. Our rack is back, and we've got $43 in profit. It seems like we're tying all the time. I see a comment in the chat from Wayne, like, why would you tie all the time? You're not really tying. There's a lot of tying going on, but there's a lot of protection in there too to make sure that you can do this. Now, those 2 don't pass wins weren't clean wins because we had losses up in here, obviously, right? But at the end of it, in 3 shooters, even though the first guy lost on a come out 7, right away $45, you battle back and you've got $43 in the rack. So you won $90 effectively. You won back your 45 plus about 45. So it feels like you tied a lot, but in effect, that thing worked itself through $90 in wins, which is interesting. So yeah, and that's, you want to speak to that skill because a lot of people will say this when you have a hedging strategy like this one is where there's kind of a lot of offsetting bets. It's like, why are you playing not to lose? But you're kind of treading water. If we happen to get a roll where we're repeating numbers up in here, this becomes a little bit more meaningful. Why don't you talk to that?
Right.
Because a lot of people criticize the idea of tying all the time.
Well, we can. I mean, you can put up an example. We can. I mean, we can use the examples if you want to run through with the chips. You know,
Go for it.
we'll just call out numbers
Yeah, tell me where you
instead
want to
of
be.
using the circle.
Yep.
Okay, so let's just set it up. So let's do the 45,
25.
and then we'll.
There's 45 in the don't.
Okay, and then let's just pick a point.
Let's pick a 6. We haven't seen a 6 yet. At the 6 is the point. Things change a little
Yep.
bit actually at the 6 is the
All
point. So
right.
at 6 is the point. You're gonna do what? You're gonna hop.
So then we'll have the 1-5
The
for
one
three
five is the
dollars,
hop. Okay. Place
and
the
then
8.
we'll have a $3 field bet, and we'll
Yep.
place the 8, and we'll place the 5 for 5.
Place the 5 for 5. Okay. And then you're also gonna be in here, correct? At the 6 is the point. Do you also then cover the hard 6 with an all day bet?
Yeah, you can do that. Um, you'd have to do that with $7,
You need
because
5,
7 times
right?
7 is
5, right?
yeah.
5
I
times
mean,
9 is
you would.
45. That would cover this, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you for the yeah 5. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I was thinking
And
of
you
the
might
4 for
actually
some
do,
reason.
if I'm thinking about being the perfect hedge number, it might actually be $6 um because with the $6 you actually cover this one here if it loses, right? So you got 45 and 9, you got $54 over here, right? You'd lose 45, 48 and win 56. That might be the better amount
Okay.
over there. But yeah, in here, all the things that could happen, right? Let's just run through every possible scenario. If the 7 comes right now, you lose this mess, right? You're going to lose 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 5 is what? $23. You're going to win 7 and 45, or right? You're going to win $52. So you're still up ahead on a quick 7. Not as much
Right.
ahead as you would on the horseman, but you're ahead. You're going to lose a bunch of change. You're going to win pretty good over here. That's scenario number 1, right? The buckshot of the point, right? If they buckshot
Right.
your point, you have the 1-5 covered and you have the 4-4 covered. So the only ways to lose on a point would be the 4-2-6, right? And the 2-4-6. Because you got the 1-5 covered and you got the 4-4 covered. So you're going to lose in those 2 combinations. You've taken away 4 of the 6 ways to lose. or I'm sorry,
It,
3 of the 5 ways to lose you've taken away. So you can only really can get beat on a 4-2-2-4 right here. So you've reduced this down, right? A very specific way to lose on a 6. If it is the 4-2, right, you would lose this one and this one. The worst case scenario is a 4-2-6. You get beat here, you lose there, and you lose here. But if it's a 5-1, okay, that completely covers that. You lose $6. If it's the 4-4 or the 3-3 rather, the hard way,
exactly.
you win 54. You actually are ahead. So a hard 6 is good for you. It negates this, but it's good for you. You end up winning it a little bit in the end. And a hard 6 actually sends your comeback up. So effectively, that's going to be what can happen on a 6. Anything else that rolls, you're going to either profit or tie. You're going to move a comeback up somewhere. If an 11 rolls, you're going to get paid here and here. If a 2 or a 12 rolls, you get 6, you lose 7. It costs you $1 to go back out. Not a big deal. If a 4, 9, or 10 rolls, that's great. You get paid here while the comeback moves. So this is, you're getting some juice along the way as things happen. What you don't want to have happen is the buckshot. That's the big thing, right? So
exactly.
Waylon, see
So
now Waylon
that's
just
and
opened up
that was
Waylon
the
eyes. I see now he's hopping the point as well as 2 combinations. That's part of the reason there. You're hopping part of that, so you don't get crushed down here.
right. It's protect it's always protect the don't player because the don't player's fear is all even though he has the advantage
Mm-hmm.
is the 6 and 8
Yep.
or buckshotting the point, and
Yes.
so the it's their fear is remaking that bloody point, and
Mm-hmm.
so this is trying to help alleviate the combinations
Mm-hmm.
of any potential don't come or come bet or any
Sure.
pass line bet or
Mm-hmm.
don't pass bet,
Yeah, and it gives you
if
like
that makes sense.
yeah, and you got something to do. Like I always say this, like you got something to do while that's going on. Like you're still playing the comeback and the place points just to get some juice. If the roll goes, you can make some money in here with these 3 bets while that's all happening. Like really the crux of the thing is the don't pass and this, right? Field and this kind of are the offsetters, right? You're really just trying to get some comebacks up there, make some money if you can. So,
Exactly.
all right, cool.
Exactly.
Let's roll this
It's the
out. Let's
same
let's say
theory
you have
as
the
the
point of
horseman.
6.
I
Let
mean,
me roll it out
that's
and
what
then
the
we'll
horseman wants.
what's that? Let's go. Let's get
No,
any but
go
a
ahead.
6. We got a 9. Cool. So the field wins on a 9. We like that, and the comeback goes up to the 9, which is great. We'll take a nickel out, have a second comeback, and let's keep rolling. We lose the 6 too. I didn't put the 6 back,
That
so
hop
that
does
goes away.
lose. Yeah,
Yeah, the
that
hot
hop
bet
does
loses,
lose.
and it goes back out. All right, here we go. All right, there is a 9 again. So the hop loses, but the field wins, and the hop just goes back. Right, the 9 is an off and on for $7. That just goes right to the right.
Exactly. So you're winning.
Yep. So you're winning there. Okay, cool. And there's another 9. So it's the same thing. So these 2 offset, off and on for $7. All right. How about 3 9s in a row? What do you think? 4-1-5. Okay, so we lose. The comeback will travel up. We'll lose our field and our hop, but that pays $7. There's 6 of it. There's the $7th, right? So again, the field can go back, and we'll
Bingo.
take this to our rack, and we can go $7 more on the come. Explain the significance of the
Yep.
$7 too on the comeback, because that was.
So you actually
Oh, this can come down. Yeah, the place bet comes down because we have $7.
correct.
Why $7 here? What was the point of the $7? I forget about that. And Vegas State was, by the way, asking. This is a bubble
Well,
craps thing for sure. Bubble craps, yeah.
yes, yes. This is bubble craps because
Mm-hmm.
my bubble craps is a $3 minimum, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I designed this for a $3 minimum bubble craps machine. I mean,
Yeah,
you can scale this up if you want. I just
sure.
haven't done it because this works.
Yeah, you can grind this thing out all day long.
But
Frankly,
the Y7,
yeah. Why
yeah,
seven in the comp?
why
What?
$7? It's just it's just easy to it has to. The reason is because all the other stuff, the field and the hops, are all taking away from that combat. So instead of it being a huge, like as a horseman, you want it like usually either uh, 2 to 1 or 4 to 1 or what have you, in relationship to the don't pass. You
Mm-hmm.
can't really do that because of the extra hedging going on. So that
Right.
makes it, you have to reduce that, and that seven
Mm-hmm.
dollars is the actual pivot point, which makes it work best, in my opinion, because if you go less, then it's going to be worse. But if you go more, it can be tricky, and it can bite you. If you put like 9 in the field, I mean, if you
Mm-hmm.
put 9 in the thumb, rather, then that can bite you as well. So I just found that perfect balance point is like $7 for some reason.
Okay. Okay. Let's finish this rollout. See what happens. There's a 5. Okay, so that's awesome. So again, we're off and on here. There was a come bet. We're off and on for $5. For $7 rather. Five, six,
And also
$7.
another thing is that
Yep.
if you get every single box number covered, you've got six times seven you know is what it is, and then it's still under the DP.
Mm-hmm. True. That's true.
Does
That's
that make
true. So
sense?
yeah, yeah, $49 across you'd have, right? And that would be yeah. Okay, interesting. Or 42. We end up being 42. And there's your seven.
Should be.
It'd be $42. All right, let's take all this then. We lose all these. Let's see where we ended up here. So all that goes away. We do win in our field, or our combat wins, and of course the don't pass wins. There's your $45 on the don't. So in the end, let's rebuild the rack one more time. So there's 25. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 reds, and 10 whites. So it's 1 green, 7 reds, 10 whites is the play. 3, 4, 5. There's your 10 whites. So all 3 of our starting shooters are back. 50, 60, 70, $80, $82. So it just keeps bringing in 30, $40 every time we do this. And like I said, on a bubble craps machine at the $3 level, like you're showing it here, you could grind this bad boy out all day long. Is what it sounds like.
Exactly.
So yeah, very interesting.
I'm curious what, because I can't see the
Oh
comments,
sure,
so I'm just
I'll
curious
I'll
what
put
are
some
what
up.
are
I'm
what's
gonna
the
put some up and we'll talk. I'm gonna set the bets back up so people can see the bets here in real time,
mhm.
and then I'll bring some comments up and we'll talk through it. So actually, like I said, we made money, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna put the point on 5. We'll hop the 5 for 3. We'll put 3 in the field, and we'll leave it set like that in a $7 comeback. I want the bets to sit out there while we're talking about it, so that people can have a frame of reference while we're doing this. Okay, so one of the
So what is
comments that
your
we
what
got,
is your opinion?
um, my opinion is I think what Vegas Day Tripper says, which is I think you can imagine
Okay.
one of the comments, which is, do you actually play this on a live table or just bubble craps? Because dealers and players would hate sitting through it. All the motion, right? On a real table, you drive your dealers crazy with all the hopping and things, all of the chip motion. On a bubble craps machine, though, which is what you designed it for, $3 bubble craps, you can sit here all day long. And actually, bubble craps has that nice like repeat bet feature. Like some of the bubble craps machines have got like you can set up like multiple little memory things and just put your bets back. So I think for a bubble machine, this is a perfect little way to sit here and kind of grind it all day long. Waylon asks you this: has Darling got this figured out at higher levels, like a $15 table level? I think you got first. Waylon started out going, "What the hell is he trying to do?" Right? And then he goes, "Oh, I see it." Like he saw you hop in the point, and I think he's like getting to where he likes it at a $15 table, right? And again, we're at $3 here, right? So this has to be a $15 field. So multiply everything by 5, right? So this becomes $15. These become, instead of $6, they become $30. And down here, instead of 45, it becomes 45, 90, whatever that is, 105 or whatever it is, right? This has to become 91, no, 115 or whatever. Is that right? 45 times 3 is, I don't know, 135. So 135 down here, 15 here, 30 here, and this would be $15 on the hop. That's the, and then of course, 5 times 7, $35 in the comp. That's the multiplier. And you need extra juice. You're going to have probably
There you
enough
go.
money for 3 come bets sitting in your rack if you want to perpetually keep coming out. So that would be the math for it. Just multiply everything by 3 or by 5 rather. What other questions do y'all have for dialing out here, guys? Let's see. Tom Marcus says 3-1 odds in the DP is the primary hedge. The other hedges cover that. Do you still want a 7 sooner than later? Is the question. Once everything is all out there, do you want that 7 to come right away?
Yeah, we would prefer that because because of the strong DP covers
Mm-hmm.
everything, but it's not necessary. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so either way, it works. It works generally for all scenarios. And again, we have taken the don't pass and made it to its fullest advantage that I feel that we can
Mm-hmm.
by reducing the combinations of any potential point being hit.
Right. So it seems like the earlier 7 is great. If the 7 comes at the mid, like the kryptonite of the horseman is the same as this one, right? You get 3 combat set and then the 7 comes, you basically tie, right? If you get 0 combat set, you win. If the combats get set and start hitting, then you make that move. Then the transition happens to right side where this becomes a free play at some point. You hit 3 or 4 combats and you have $45 in profit in the rack, this becomes a free play. This is a coupon in that case, right? So you want this to go long or short, but not mid. These rolls that I just had here, where it's like 2 or 3 rolls and you're out, that's the feeling of tying all the time. But the early one and the late
Well,
ones work
I
really
think it will
good.
still work. I think it'll still work at mid even.
Mhm.
It works no matter what.
Yeah, it does work mid, just not quite as well. Like you don't get the nice juice when you got 3 combat set. You're kind of like they burn up. The combats burn up more of the don't if they don't hit. If you don't get the off and on that we got a couple off and ons in there that make that feel a little better. And we got a couple 6 and 8 hits. If they just go set, 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 and then the 7 comes, then it becomes a total wash, right? That's where the horseman gets, bid a lot too. So,
Okay. Yeah,
um,
I can see that.
all right. So somebody else is asking. Let's see. You can't get a CB on 6 box numbers without losing to 45. Yeah, you can't. What you'd have is you'd have a comeback on 5 of the 6, right? You have comebacks on 5 of the 6 minus the point. And if that's the case, you'd have 5 times or 7. I'm sorry, 7. You'd have 7 on those minus the point. So 5
Right.
or 7, 14, 21, 28, $35 with 45 down here. So even if you get 7 of them set or 5 of them set and the 7 comes, you still win here. Now, if they all just get set and nothing else happens, you're going to end up being upside down because you're losing the field and the hop the whole way through, right? That could happen to you as well. So you could bleed out in here as you're setting those other points, but that's a thing. No PSO wants to know what your suggested bankroll is. What's your walkaway goal?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say whatever the total spread is, um, that we would need
Mm-hmm.
time, and we would just take it by the standard of times 10.
Yeah, so that
So
makes $1,000
how
then
much does it
because
take to play it?
yeah, well each shooter, right? What do you have? This is the setup, right? This is the exact setup. So it's 40. Let's just add it up so we can see. There's 45, 55, 60, $70 is what this is, right? $70 just to get all set up. I think you need another probably 3 combat readies, right? So you need another $21 at least, which makes it about $100. I would say about $100 per shooter, and I think you can make three shooters. Personally, I think you have $300. You can make three shooters last a long time. As you saw here, we got planked for 45,
Yeah.
but you grind back $6 here, $8. You know what I mean? You can make three shooters last a long time as long as you keep replenishing. You catch the perfect shit run, you're gonna get bonked, obviously, right? Um, but I feel like between $300 and $500 you can get there. With that level, I would say a good win goal is probably 50 or $60. Like I would like to see you be able to win one shooter, right? Win one more play would be a great win goal for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that the win goal could even be higher than that. I mean, because this thing will make money. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's no doubt about it in my mind. So, I mean, you can set your win goal for whatever you want. It's not sky is the limit, but
It's a
this
it's a
this
grinder.
thing does have teeth, and it will win money.
Yeah, it's a grinder, and I think like when you're on a bubble machine, the nice thing about it is you can see where you are. It's easier to check your rack, right? And it's like once if you start with $300 and you get your
Exactly.
total thing up to like 350, you can say, well, okay, I'll maybe you get it to like 370 or something. I'll try it one more time from 370, which gets me back to a tie situation if I lose it all, right? But if you can go from 370 to 390, then you can try it again and you can walk away with $10. If you go from 390 to 415, cool, I'll do it again. I know I'm going to lock up $40 as a profit. Just kind of keep inching that profit number along as you go. I wouldn't set a strict win goal. I would just kind of keep playing it through and keep building up the guarantee as I go. Um, so, and Dustin, there are $5 tables now. Vegas is coming back to $5 tables. By the way, there's a few places that have them. I think the Palms has got a perpetual $5 table now, and who else? Well, of course, all the roll to wins are $5, but there are definite $5 tables coming through, so that's cool. Um, yeah, Waylon says strategy hedges itself, winning a few bucks until the seven comes. Early sevens are great. Um, let's see. Dice Doctor Dan says the dealer moves the come bet, pays the field, or removes the field and pays the place. The stick removes or pays the hop. Shouldn't delay the game that much. Um, what delays the game when you're hop
Right. It's
betting
it's not
is
that
is
it's not that
is
complicated.
no, it's the communication. It's like getting their attention to make the hop bets. But once you've done a hop bet and you're going to do it, they kind of start looking at like dealers aren't dummies. Like they start looking at you for your next bet, and they once they figure you out, they got it right. Um, Dustin asks you, how was the
Right.
recovery on the natural come out winners? So if you get beat like we did on a come out seven or the 11 on the come out, what is it? What is your is the plan just to kind of let it keep grinding that money back like we saw here today?
Yeah, that would be the plan.
Okay, so grind it out. Dan says,
And
by the
if
way,
they're if they're super
did I lose
if they're
you?
super scared of the flat don't if they're super scared of the don't pass, they can also go back to the to a small yo and a
Mm-hmm.
small field bet. You know,
Sure.
uh, I don't really I really don't recommend that for this low betting level. It's really
Mm-hmm.
not that to me. That's more of a still an option. You still try a yo or $2 or $3 yo or whatever. Still throw a $5 or depending on what the table minimum is. If it's a
Mm-hmm.
$5 or $10 or $15 table, the field's going to have to be $10 or $15.
Right.
So it's like you got to weigh the pros and cons in your own
Mm-hmm.
mind. What's best, what the
Sure.
player's comfortable with. You know.
Yeah, but my general rule of thumb is this. I don't like to do this, but you could put a $3 yo out there. I know my E's are super small, but a $3 yo covers your $45, right? If I'm doing this and I don't do it, at least you take two
Right.
ways
Right.
to lose away, right? If you're going to do that, put the equivalent in the field, right? That way, if anything other than the 11 comes, if it's a three, if it's a 4, 9, or 10 at
But
the
if they're at a ten,
fit set, then you get covered, right? It's like that's a way to kind of make this not hurt quite so bad. If I do the yo, I make a field bet for the same
right.
amount as the yo typically. If I don't do this, I don't do that on the come out. Like that's kind of the yo bet drives the field bet on the come outs with from the don't side. I like getting paid on the 4, 9, or 10 as I come out. That's kind of cool. The 11 is a little bit of profit because of the field bet. A 3 or a 2 or a 3 is a double win for me in the field. That covers the yo. I don't know. To me, if you're doing 3 units or three shooters worth, then $45 on the don't from shooter number 1 is a big part of your bankroll. You might want to hedge. If you have 10 shooters, then I don't worry about this so much. You know what I'm saying? Like the deeper I go into my rack, the more this concerns me. And I would maybe hedge so I can keep playing. Not because I'm scared of the $45, but it's more like if I lose this, I lose bullets, and I don't want to lose bullets. So if I only have 3 bullets, I might want to protect one of them so I can keep on going. That might be the one time I would say, yeah, go ahead and go over here. Um, I like what Dan said here too. He said not so much a win goal. We are talking about the win goal before. It's a time limit. Like play it for a while. Don't worry about the win goal. Play for a while, and that's after 45 minutes, whatever, you can kind of stop. So that'd be kind of an interesting way to do it. Bubble craps to me is more of a time thing. I think he's got a point there. You play bubble craps for a while, not so much to win $300. Like you're playing it for until you get tired of it. And Waylon says $500 bankroll, 50 to $100 is the win goal. Is how he do it. Don't pressure luck.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah,
I got no problem
and,
with that.
Yeah, and Jacob says hi. Our mutual friend Jacob from Wager Me This. What's up, Jacob?
Hello, Jacob.
So Jacob, you should watch this one back. This is one of Skill's newest creations. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back a screen, Skill. I'm going to go to here, I think, and if I go back, hold on, back there it is. Okay, so there's the actual. So Jacob can see the whole setup. I'll put the bets back. Point is 5. We're going to get a $6 6 and 8. We're going to get a $7 come bet. We're going to get a $3 field, and we're going to hop the point with the combination as the 1 on it in this case. That's the setup. So everything basically works out. One final review of this thing, how it works out, right? So once the point is set, right, we hedge off with a $3 bet, the version of the point with a 1 or a 6. So in this case, it would be the 1-5. So all that beats the don't pass now is a 3-2. Okay. If anything rolls other
It's
than
a 1-4.
Or the 1-4.
1-4.
Yeah, anything rolls other than a 5. The field bet, any field number, you win the field, you lose the hop, the field covers the hop. Okay. 6 or 8 comes, you lose the field, you lose the hop, you win 7, you put 3 and 3 back, and you take $1 to your rack. Right? So all of this kind of worked itself out. The come bets can become here and you get paid, or it can go here and you start having some off and ons. That's the idea. Waiting that 7 out. So having all this fun, waiting for the 7 and taking away a way of losing. So that's the idea of it. So, and Dice Dr. Dan says, if I get whacked on the DP, do you go right back out or wait for a point and go to the DC? That's the age-old question of playing the don't, right? Do you take multiple whacks down here or let it happen, wait for the point, and then come to the don't come? What is your personal way of doing that?
I would prefer just to wait and reestablish the don't pass again.
Okay, so wait for the next shooter or just go right back on out?
Well, it depends on your bankroll and how big of a chunk where you're at. If you're ahead,
Mm-hmm.
then go straight back out. If you're if
Yeah.
you're if you're behind, then wait for the next shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah,
So it just depends on how your bankroll dictates some of that.
for sure. For sure. Wager says this too. This is a good point, and this might be a holy roller thing. This could be a lot of good as a point generator. Like, I'm thinking like cruise ship style play, right? Where you're not gonna get destroyed, you're not gonna win a ton, but you're gonna grind this thing out with $100 average bet. And there's no contra betting here. Everything here is a clean bet, really. So honestly, on a cruise ship, this is $100 average bet. If you're if you're on a real table, when you double or triple everything up, that's actually a really interesting play. I should actually run the numbers here and get a $10 version and a $15 version to see what the requirements would be for a cruise ship play. It's actually very interesting. So, all right. It is 8:30. Remember you said yesterday, I don't want to go too long. I said, don't worry about it. So we went too long. It's all good. Right? Um, but yeah, that's all good. I
Thank
think
you so much. Thank you, John.
I'm glad you did it. Like I said, I was going to do this yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? I really need you on here with me to kind of explain your why because I don't want to talk for you, even though I know why you did it. I want you to explain all the reasoning behind how you designed this and give you a chance to kind of put
Hmm.
it all out there. So, yeah, check the comment section as we go through the next couple of days and see what people say about it. You can bet there's going to be those that say, "Oh, hedging is playing not to win," but honestly, on a bubble craft, you can grind this bad boy out for a long time, and on a cruise ship, you can make a lot of points and not have to put a whole lot of money really at risk because you're only risking a little bit at a time. So, very, very interesting. Wayland's Way says, nice job, Skill. I like the grinding strategies. I prefer the DC over the DP with this one. Since you're always hedging the point anyways, you shouldn't lose on a come out where it goes 7, 7, 7, 7, 11, which, as you know, happens. Um, but yeah, there it is, man. All right, the last thing to say is this. I need to go here. What's going on? I coming up, a new strategy from Skill like the Mustang. We did that already. That was today. I need to change my screen for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Tomorrow might be a scale up. Dan says scale it up. Tomorrow, I may show this at different levels, just to give folks an idea how to play it on a live table
Oh,
because you can't do the
fantastic.
$3 bets, obviously.
Fantastic
Maybe
idea.
that's tomorrow's
Yep.
show. And in the meantime, my daily dose of inspiration. Remember this: life is like a helicopter, and I don't know how to operate a helicopter. And I think most of us are going through life the same way, right? Like they don't give you an instruction manual. And I think if you don't attack life like you would attack flying a helicopter, you have a tough time. So get after everybody. Have a good day. Love y'all. God bless everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Skill, thanks for joining me again. And final words before I hang it up.
Oh, thank you again, John. This was fun, and
Mm-hmm.
can't wait for Craps for the Cure and
Yeah,
kicking off uh, Craps Chat again.
yeah, me too. Me too. All right. See y'all in the morning, everybody. Have a great rest of your hump day. It's hump day. Have a good one. Bye, y'all.